So thanks for coming along, bro. If you want to quickly introduce yourself, what you do both, I guess, as a businessman and maybe outside of business, bro.
Sweet, all good. So yeah, team, my name's Kieran. Thank you all for your time today. I am in Wellington, New Zealand. I've got 3 kids. My kids are 9, 7, and 3, and my partner has 2 kids as well that are 11 and 14. So you got 5 kids, 3 dogs, 3 gyms, online business, and coaching and IC as well. So lots going on. I'm back in the investment game as well now, Dylan. So I've got couple of investment properties. So had to rebuild myself up a little bit. Went through a big separation that cost me a bit, and I've had to restart again a few years back. So yeah, I'm onto my 3rd property now. Obviously, like the gyms are the priority and that, and online and that sort of stuff, and coaching people one-on-one in the IC. But yeah, there's sort of background about myself. Used to play a lot of sports. Just started jiu-jitsu, as I was saying to Jesse a few months back. Had a real serious injury that made me become the business coach, the coach and owner I am today. Otherwise, I was in the game coaching 30 hours a week doing PT prior to that, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, nah, that's wild, bro. So, man, a lot there, man. So like you're doing investments, you've got the gyms, you got online, you're a family man, you're doing jiu-jitsu, you're still getting your own health in check.
Yep.
How do you do it, bro? How do you do it?
So I have a split relationship, obviously, as I said, with my kid's mum. I have 2 perfect weeks that I run. So I've got a perfect week when I have the kids the majority of the week, and then I have a different week when I have them outside of that. So I run my businesses around my kids, obviously. Like first and foremost, I always sort of have my time with my kids. It's my valuable time. There's a chance for me to recharge every week as well when I have them. Structure, everything has to be structured. Dylan is the big one. Investments, I don't have to do so much. They're in the background. They sort of look after themselves. So let's look at like Monday, Tuesday, I have my kids every single week. So I work 9 to 3, pick up my kids, spend the afternoon, evening with them. I go down to bed around 8. Say they're in bed at 8 o'clock. I'm back on the computer at home, and I work 8 till between 11 and 12 on a Monday and Tuesday. And then my week sort of changes day to day based on the rest of the week, whether I have my kids or not.
Yeah, man. How do you how do you make that transition between you picked up the kids after school, go hang out with them for a few hours, then you got to jump back on that computer at 8 o'clock at night? How do you do that, bro?
I just know that that's like an essential. It just has to happen. My VAs are sort of clocking off around that 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, so it's a good chance just to check in with them as well. So like I do that every night. So it's just and then that probably gives me my admin time to get stuff done uninterrupted. I'm out of the gym as well, so I don't get distracted by the coaches, by my coaches or my members and stuff like that. So that's generally when I'm working on the business as well, like looking at my sort of growth planning, all that sort of stuff. So like I was saying to you just before, we're aiming for 110 sales across our 3 gyms. So to do that, I need 330 leads for the month across the 3 facilities. So had to do a bit of forward planning to look at that. My time as well to plan for our meetings.
Yeah, that's wild, man. So wanted to obviously, bro, being a coach now and going through the journey, bro, obviously we all know that it's not easy to sort of do what you've done. And so you got the 3 gyms now, bro. You got this online business. But what has it actually taken, bro? What has it actually taken to get to the point where you're at now, where you're still in the grind, you still got a lot of work ahead of you, but what did it take to get to here?
Probably have to work every day for 3 years, 70 hours a week, give or take, to get myself into those positions to elevate. In all honesty, I was doing 2 years ago now. I was doing 30 hours of PT and then trying to run the business as well. I had 1 gym then. I had one manager that was running the facility for me. And then when I ruptured my patella tendon July 2 years ago, that was the flick of the switch for me that stopped me coaching. So I always knew I had to do this coaching to actually grow the business, but I didn't realize how fucking quickly it would change. Like I stopped coaching like immediately, like overnight. My coaching career was done. Really, like I can't physically do 30 hours of PT anymore. I do 5 hours of PT and group coaching on a Thursday, and my knees buggered like today. So like I know physically I can't go back to that. But the flick of the switch, I then became the business owner and the CEO. I still had a manager, but that turned me into sales and marketing. My marketing shit. Like we just pay for our leads, like 100%. Like I can say that. Like I'm not the best marketer, but I give direction to the ads. I'm good at running ads. I have the agency run the ads still, but that's because we've got three gyms, so it's much easier to run it through there than do it all myself and know I just don't have the time. So I'm better spent doing that and giving them direction on what I'm wanting to do. Marketing wise, we use a lot of user generated content. So we've taught our members to tag and share us and that. So we use that a lot to build our authority, build our brand, use testimonials and that. My VAs build all that now for me. So they build all our testimonials from our Google reviews, off our feedback forms, off our review forms, across the facilities and online. So that becomes all our content. So we put that out all the time. And that then gets us between 5 and 10 bookings organic a week, and then the rest come from paid and referrals pretty much in joint business partnerships.
Yeah, that's fucking mad, bro. Like, and one of the things I really want to dive into, bro, because I remember the day basically you were like, fuck, I'm going in for surgery next week, bro. So if we can sort of go back to that time, man, like obviously what were you thinking about? Like, so say for example, like there's guys here now that have, a half decent business, maybe they're in person, they're wanting to like step away, but they're making good money as a PT, they're making good money as a coach. What were you thinking about, bro, when you had to make that transition? And if you were to sort of reflect back on that, what would you sort of tell yourself in that position?
I was shitting myself, like I had all sorts going through my head because I have my 3 kids. So I was like, shit, I can't even when I was in hospital that day when I blew my knee out, like my kids were at their mother's house and stuff like that, and I messaged her and I'm like, hey, just letting you know, like I'm going to have surgery in a couple of days. My knee's pretty screwed. I don't know what's going on, but I'm probably going to need some help. She's like, oh, well, you can pay me for it. And I was like, oh, what? Okay. So I actually moved into my parents' house to get them to help me. I couldn't pick up my daughter for like a period of time. So after surgery and stuff like that. So like there was all of that sort of mental side of it going on. But I just knew that there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and I had a sole focus because I've been through it before, through COVID and all sorts of stuff with my kids and stuff like that before, where I have to have that end goal. So I had to know that it was all going to be okay as long as I then changed from being a PT to the business owner. I quickly changed my mindset because I always believed that to help people, I needed to coach them. I then decided in my own mind that to be able to help more people, I needed to be better at sales and let all my team coach people. So that was how I elevated myself into that position to move ahead mentally for myself, but also to know that I was doing the right things for being able to help more people long term. Because if I'm coaching someone, I'm only helping Leah in front of me versus being able to help 10 people here right now talking like in a coaching scenario. So that's how I sort of mentally shifted from that.
Yeah, bro. And then like obviously like it didn't happen overnight where you're able to just like, well, it did happen overnight where you stepped away, but what did you put in place to make sure that, hey, look, the service is still being delivered to the same level?
I got a really good coaching team, so I was really lucky that like through that we had multiple coaches. So
what made them good coaches, bro? Like what made them a good coaching team?
We're like family. Like a couple of my coaches have lived with me through periods of time. My kids
Yep.
call my coaches their aunties and uncles pretty much. Like we're all family. Like I've lived with multiple of my coaches in a sledding scenario when they've had nowhere to go. We spend a lot of time together outside of the gym in terms of like just getting out. And there's a bar just down the road, so we go down there and have a beer and stuff like that. Thank you, Liberty.
Yeah.
So that culture is massive for us. It then reflects onto our members and stuff like that as well, but also just education. Dylan, like we know there's tons of shit coaches out there as well, and I've always been real strong on having a good coaching team in terms of knowledge and skill set. That's changing now because we don't have that same skill set in terms of qualifications that are coming through locally for us. So we now have to hire more on. I've changed my mindset, and like what we were talking about just before, mindset shifted massively. So for me now, I hire on whether they're a good fit for my team. I can train them and educate them because I know I can make a good coach. So I've got to know that person's a good person and not going to disrupt my team. We've got 24 staff now, so they can really screw things up if I have someone that's not a good fit.
Absolutely, Gary. And so basically, man, like from there, like knowing that you had that good staff in place, like, was there anything else to essentially step away into, like in virtual assistants, like getting your ads done? What did you sort of go and focus on?
I was private coaching with Jimmy, so I was doing one-on-one coaching with Jimmy. So like I made him aware instantly what was going on. I had Jaden, who actually owns one of my gyms now with me. He was my manager. His operations of the business is like next level. I probably wouldn't be here today as well without Jaden being like a business partner and my manager at that point in time. He was able to front a lot of like the leadership and stuff like that going on in the facility. My PT clients, I quickly shifted them all onto the other trainers so that they were. The injury happened on a Saturday. On Monday, they were training with my other coaches and stuff in the team. So I was really lucky with that. 2 of my clients have come back to me. The rest are still with the other coaches. And the 2 clients that have come back to me are my like original clients, my very first clients that I had on day 1 when I first started coaching. Before I started opening these gyms. And then it's just been like, I guess because my team knew that I was always all in on everything, that they stepped up and helped me at that point in time. And then I had to mentally shift like as well at that point in time to like, and I've been told like by my team as well to stop working. Like because I wasn't in the gym, I thought that I had to work extra hard all the time. So like quite often I'd be messaging them at like midnight, 1 a.m, not realizing the time, and they'd be like, "Oh, piss off, leave me alone." And they sort of know that I'm like that. So I guess for me, I felt like I had to work harder because I wasn't in the facility as well.
How do you man, do you ever find yourself like, well, get to a point where you are there now where it's like, because you've got the work ethic, bro, and you've got that natural drive. Like, how do you go from a point where, like, now you're doing pretty well, bro? How do you find that transition where, like, okay, cool, I can maybe enjoy it a little bit, maybe have you found where you taking your foot off the brake, but the business still moves at the same pace? Or has it been things have slowed down because you've slowed down?
No, the gyms are all still growing. Like I think we've put like 200 members into the gyms this year, and then 70 online. We've pretty much gone from nothing to 70 in our online business. Help our IC members one-on-one grow their businesses too. So I'm trying to give my managers or my business partners who operate the gyms more accountability on themselves. So end of last year, I was in a bit of a burnout stage. I realized it was because I wasn't coaching people still, so I've gone back to a little bit of coaching. So I do about 5 hours.
Like almost like you didn't feel fulfilled, or you just lost that connection to the ground, or
fulfillment for myself. I knew, and like because I wasn't able to do it for so long, I just did everything else. And then I realized like I was getting bored. I was like saying to Jimmy, I was like I don't know what to do. Like, I'm getting over this and stuff like that. And he was like, I actually went through that, and it was because I wasn't doing this. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, I'm not coaching. So maybe I'll go back to that. So I started doing a little bit of PT then, started running a few group sessions, and that's helped me a lot. Filling my cup, like just for that, filling my cup for fulfillment. I went to Aussie for a week in September last year, and the business still grew, and that sort of stuff. So then December last year, I was doing this course. It was a professional development course, and they were talking about planning your holidays. And I was like, shit, I haven't had a holiday apart from that week off in Gold Coast that we spoke about for like 3 years. I'd gone through all the COVID crap and all that sort of stuff and just worked every day pretty much. And all of that. So December, I actually planned all my holidays for this year. So that's helped me massively. Like, I went from just working all the time to way better balance, but also knowing that I can go hard. Like, I can go real hard this month for June, because in the second week of July, I'm taking a week off and going away with my kids. I'll still do our meetings. So like in that week, I'll still do my meeting. But now I've got someone who does sales calls for me. They've just started on Thursday last week. So now that's not solely reliant on myself now. So that's been the other thing, is cross coaching the team, so that if someone is away, the other people can step in and do that work too.
I reckon that's one of the most important things, bro, is like planning your holidays in advance. Tim Ferriss used to say it, he's like, look, if you're not having like a short break every 12 weeks, and then every 24 weeks you want to have a long break. And the thing is, like Hormozy says it as well, is like, work like a fucking dog until like your productivity per unit of time decreases. And so like I knew that too. Like about 2 weeks ago I went to Tassie and like see my boy and just hang out with him, and I knew that, hey, look, I'm probably good for another month just to grind it out. We'll be basically working 7 days a week, like it's been full on. But I was like, that break came at the perfect time, because I knew I wasn't completely cooked and I'd come back fresh. How do you find that when you come back from your holidays? How does, I guess, your energy for the business go?
I like get like a lot of sales initially, like this, because that's my primary focus now, is growth. So like sales skyrocket, go through the roof, bookings and that sort of stuff. Those, and like lots of growth work happens in that point in time. And then same as probably the last 3 days before going on holiday, like all that set up to make sure it's sorted for the time off. So lots get accomplished on either side of the break too, I find.
Yeah, man. Cool. All right, bro. So man, transitioning to online, bro. So one of the things that we often see, like with gym owners, is every single time, like I've seen it probably 90% of the time, when a gym owner wants to go online, they get sucked back into the business and this online just doesn't grow. How have you managed, I guess, one, what is the thing you're using? Is it just purely ads to grow the online? And how do you make sure that you can still grow this online business without getting sucked back into the gym?
I'm probably a little bit lucky, Dylan, that I don't try to do everything myself. So I've got business partners in every business. So my gyms all have a different business partner in each gym. My online, I have a business partner in. So it was sort of just like the only reason I set up online, so in all honesty, is one of my coaches is getting homesick. He's Pom. And he wanted to go home to England to go see his family. They had tried to come over a couple of times and lockdowns didn't let them. So he moved back to the UK. But he was like, fuck, I really don't want to go, but I want to be here, but I need to go see my family. So I was like, well, you're not going to be able to really get a visa. So how about me and you go in an online business together? We'll go under the Build a Body brand. You can run it, everything like that, and we just share the business. And then that you now become a New Zealand business owner. It'll help you be able to get a visa back here again. You got a Kiwi missus that is probably going to help you do that. So that was the reason. That was the sole reason that I set up online, was to help one of my staff be able to come back to New Zealand. He runs it. I do 1 half-hour meeting a week with him on the business. and he runs it. I set up all the automation, did all of that. Got guidance from yourself, Dylan, in terms of the initial setups and everything like that. And then ran it. I was like, can I do this faster? So tested some ads. We were getting super cheap leads. We had to switch our leads off, turn our ads off because the leads were too, couldn't keep up. I was able to sell them into the program. I then put the rest of them into a free group that we could nurture over time. We don't run any ads now, and we're probably getting 1 or 2 new clients a week. It's S&C based, so like strength and conditioning based for athletes. So we're looking at like kids and like young adults that are just out of academies, and like Wellington Rugby Academy, for an example. We target the ones that aren't quite into there, but they want to get into those academies. They want to give pro sport a crack, or like the weekend warrior, like I'd call it, like the club battler who goes and plays rugby every weekend, or their sport every weekend, and we target them in the pre-season and then post-season, or like early season when like rugby, like you always get guys that are wanting to play rugby, but they come in, they're not fit enough, so you target them just as the season's starting. So that's how we sort of that's how we really scaled it.
Is that so? From your side, bro, do you handle most of the systems side of things, and then your coach is like handling check-ins, that sort of stuff? How do you sort of run it?
Yeah, so I set up all the initial systems. Between me and him, we've sold people into the program. We have a VA that does all our check-ins, and then Ben does program delivery.
Yeah, so basically he's just writing programs.
Yeah, bro, pretty much. And we've got the VA running all the check-ins and stuff. And then if, like, let's say, like, if we're looking at it, like the group of people here are all our online clients, and Michael's real engaged. He's doing everything. Sweet, all good. We don't need to check in so much with him. You know, let's say Nesta's like been trying to get in contact with you, Dylan, and you've been absent and stuff like that, or you send a message back to him that is like something that's more specific, he'll then get Ben to jump in and contact you directly so that it can be dealt with by the coach. Yeah.
In terms of the difference between your 3 gyms and your online business, bro, what would the actual time and input from you be?
I do very minimal in the online, and it's probably making just as much profit now as some of the gyms. And
awesome.
I spend half an hour a week and 2 hours a week tops on it.
Yeah. And have you found like some of the gym systems, you just slot them into your online stuff, or?
Yep. So we initially sort of set up our programming similar to our group programming in the gym. And then we were like, fuck it, this is a chance for us to actually train people that we really want to. So we went more specific to the S&C.
Yeah, man. Yeah, cool, bro. Where do you want to take it all, bro? Where do you want to take it all?
I don't know. I've been thinking about that for a while, about what's next. I'm not 100% sure yet. I like to do stuff in partnership, so it's a chance for me to elevate people within my team and help grow them. So I don't have anyone stepping up currently that's saying they want to open another gym, but I do have a couple of like locations that I'd be looking at if the timing was right. When I opened my second gym, I didn't even plan to. I just had an opportunity where the rent was so cheap that I was like, this is dumb of me not to try it. My rent for my whole year at the gym that I'm sitting in now is real expensive. And the second gym that I opened, I worked out that if I paid my rent for 2 months in this gym, it was the whole year in the other gym. So I was like, I can make money on that. I know how to do that. I was like, I'm just gonna open it. I went and I've been lucky. I don't pick up money or anything. I've had money to then start the next one. I've been pretty lucky. I've been like, I started like making money real young. Like I've always been a bit of an entrepreneur. Not legally. I've made money illegally, like to start with, and I've bettered myself now. Done better, and I guess fixing some of the areas that I made early on. But yeah, definitely.
I think that's, bro, it's quite funny because I think we've had a few laughs about this, like sort of our past entrepreneurial enterprises in the day.
Yep.
New Zealand, I think it's almost like it's just something you do as a kid almost in a way.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. I was lucky. I nearly went to jail from my mistakes that I made. So I made a big turnaround when I was like 20 years old. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't know what would happen. Yeah.
I was actually the same, bro. Like, come to think of it, like I packed my toothbrush, as they say. It was like I thought I was going to jail. And it was just crazy to sort of say, and like that's why actually with my share fitness and all of that, like the reason I just stuck with it for so long is because if I didn't go sharing, I would have gone to jail. All of my friends went to jail. Like everyone was just fucking doing dumb shit, and literally that kept me out of jail. And it's why I found so much. I felt like I had to give back. Do you have a sense of that, man, where you feel like you're sort of giving back in a way, or what is it that drives you?
Yeah, so I want to leave a legacy that I've been able to help my community, show my kids that there's better in life than just sitting on your ass and doing fuck all. I want to be able to give them the opportunities that they like. My aim is to be able to effectively have a gym each for them when I'm older, that they can jump in on and be part of something that's great, that's more than just themselves. Be that role model that I want to be for my kids. Big one,
That's that's why we took on the second gym, just to make something bigger than what we have. Like it's been a bit more work than we ever anticipated, but we wake up every morning and it's like, why are we doing this? And if you can answer why, you generally keep going,
Well, a lot of the time, like all the gyms around me, I believe I'm better than them. Like I believe that we're better and that we can do better and everything like that. So that belief, then to me, I have to be able to help the other people, show them that like our community that this is the way to train, this is the way to get long-term results, and you don't have to do these bullshit fucking challenges and stuff like that and stress yourself every week to do that. So for me, I need to let more people know who we are and what we do and how we help them.
Absolutely, bro. There was actually there was a good thing that Jimmy taught me a long time ago. Just let everybody know that there's a better way and become the best known. Especially if you're the best. With Build Body brand, so how have you been able to keep the brand consistent across the 3 locations, and then also take that brand and then put it online?
Belief and values, bro. So I solely believe that we are better. As I was saying to you, I'm confident in it that we're better than what every other gym is on our block and our street, in our community. I believe we're better than most gyms in New Zealand. So that belief then triggers on to the others. We have values that we stand by as well as a business. Like we have a management meeting every single week, and we have to talk about where we showcase our own values, where we showcase the values of the business every single week, but also where we see one of our staff showcase the values. So like that sort of stuff helps like make sure that we stay in alignment across our multiple facilities and online. So that would be one. Our accountability chart as well, so that there's no ego, there's no hierarchy. Like I still do coaching. So when I'm a coach, I'm accountable to my manager. Hey, bro, have a good weekend. So I'm accountable to my manager in that role, and he can tell me off if I'm not doing a good enough job, and I have to take that on board and just be like, oh yeah, I may have sworn too many times in class. That would be the one thing that I'd get pulled up on. So it's just knowing that there's no hierarchy. There's like, because we all get along so well, so that's like really important, is that there's no ego and no hierarchy. Like it's like we manage based on outcomes and our tasks and KPIs, not people.
So it's all like a numbers-based decisions rather than like a personnel-based decisions. Yeah, that's mad, bro. And like, how do you keep that across 24 staff?
Every single person has a checklist of their jobs that they do, and then you have them to be completed. We have them daily, weekly, monthly, different tasks. And then it actually shows So like if I was to pull up one of them now, it will show your percentage of completion per day and how you complete your tasks over a monthly basis. And then from that, like, so I have a meeting on a Monday with my managers in each gym, and then they get tasks set out to do that week. And everything's deadline based. So then it helps us to make sure that we're always moving forward and doing everything. And then I get tasks set from there as well for myself from the managers. So it all comes down to support. So I'm effectively, my job as the integrator or the visionary of the business is to make sure everyone else's job is easier. So I'm connecting the pieces in that now, Dylan. Like I connect the pieces of puzzles to help everyone's job be easier.
You're the navigator essentially. Everybody else is growing. Yeah. It's really good. Cool, bro. So maybe if we pick apart like your online business a bit now. So you guys have got 70 clients. Pretty good, like in just over 6 months, over 10 clients a month, which is pretty fucking awesome. So in terms of picking the S&C niche, I know you're sort of like, hey, look, the Weekend Warriors, these sort of guys. Like, what was your main way to find them, and what are you sort of doing now to bring in the 1 to 2 clients every single week as well?
So we started an Instagram account just for that. So it was targeting all of that as a niche. So we've built like recovery protocols. We've built all our programming based on the rugby clients, the cricket clients that we had, and then we started tapping into them for referrals through the sports club. We're very lucky. Like one of the local high schools, they come into us weekly still in gym, and we train them for free. They're rugby first 15. It's for we've got a captive audience of 20 kids some of them will switch into online over the next year or so as well. Ben, who's my business partner on it, was the S&C coach for a local club, so he had a captive audience again. And then we just went through using the workflows that you always talk about, Dylan, for like liking, following, building your audience. So I gave our VA a bunch of different rugby clubs and sports clubs to follow to build our audiences through there. They just started the DM game up off that, built them.
Just hard, eh?
Yeah, bro. And then we put a post up as well that we used and was paid. So it was 6 weeks out before the rugby season, offering a 6-week pre-season program to get fit for the rugby season. So that then like captured so many. I think we got like 40 leads at like $8 a lead, and sold like 10 or 12 people. So I made heaps of cash up front on that, like real quickly, and then put the rest of them into a private group, invited them to that, and then we've just been slowly capturing people off there. Not even posting content really. We've just been resharing stuff off there, off our IG page.
And
then just starting to talk to people, like actually just giving a fuck and talking to people, see how you can help them, what you can do, what help they need, and go from there.
Yeah, cool. Do you find that like now you guys are sort of like just reaching out, making those conversations, like does it feel like you're getting a few more referrals and stuff like that, getting a bit of a brand around this business?
We're probably getting like 1 referral a month in all honesty online. Referrals in gym, we get 1 a week easy. No trouble.
Cool. Yeah, awesome, bro. And so do you just sort of like manage them in a Facebook group, or what are you sort of managing them with?
Our online stuff? Like our actual client?
Yeah.
No
How do you sort of communicate?
Just Trainerize, bro. Messages and Trainerize, that's it. We tested like groups and stuff like that, and it was too much work and not enough engagement. So we just deleted the group, manage them all on a weekly basis. We don't do any check-ins. We just do multiple messages a week as our sort of just our messaging sequence that we follow here.
Yeah, that is good, bro. Cool, man. Well, in terms of where do you think this all leads, bro? Like if you were sort of the old question of like, when you hang up the boots, bro, when you've all said and done, what do they say about your career?
That I improved the industry in Wellington. Yeah. And then for my staff, that I gave them better opportunities than what they would have worked in any other fitness place. That would be the main ones here. Like, yeah.
That's fucking awesome, bro.
Yeah, and then hopefully with the IC, bro, that again I help more people. I help other business owners and other gym owners become better as a coach, and they can live a successful life from it. That they don't have to stress about money again.
It's pretty cool way, like the position we're in, where we get to help guys, make good money helping people. And as you said, bro, even like you've got 3 gyms, you've got your online, like you may help 1,000 people across that, but with the IC and Mamba and stuff, we can help thousands and thousands, and we'll never be able to do that with our own programs, eh?
Yeah, that's it. It's like what I said before about being part of something bigger than ourselves. Like, again, me jumping into IC, bro, it's been part of something that's bigger than just Builder Body too. Like, there's you, myself, there's Jimmy, there's Dylan, there's Jackson, there's Reese, there's Costa now as well. Like, there's Bryce within the team with the agency. There's like, we're all becoming part of something bigger, leaving a bigger legacy on our, like Leah as well, doing coaching, stuff like that with Mamba. Like, we become part of something bigger than ourselves again.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was pretty crazy, man, because like when I had to make a decision, whether to like just basically shut down Share Fitness, and my mate rang me up. He was one of the guys I first trained in the program. And he's like, you know what, bro? Because of you, everyone I know in the sharing, like around them now, trains, and they all want to do better. And I was like, fuck, I did not. And he's like, you do not realize the amount of impact you've had on the industry. And this is where I was like, do I go all in with Mamba? And that one there, I was like, I've done what I set out to do. And I was like, I felt like my debt had been paid to sharing and that side of things. And I was like, fuck, I can go and help 1 million people a day, working with Jimmy and doing Mamba. So it was like, it's time for something bigger now, which is pretty cool. Yeah, cool, bro. Man, if you were to shoot out like 3 pieces of wisdom, what do you think has been the reason you're so successful? What is the reason you're sitting here today if you were to pick 3 things?
I'm willing to do more than most other people.
Yep.
I don't take no for an answer.
Yep.
And probably self-belief. Again, like I was saying, I feel like I'm confident in our own product. I'm confident in helping people, whether it's in a gym environment or the IC coaching, like the clients that I coach in there, the gym owners. Like, I have a belief that I can actually help someone and do better and be better. And for me, I always want to learn too, bro. So, still to this day, I still do coaching with Jimmy. I've got another coaching program that I've jumped in to learn more business oriented stuff. I use Jimmy everything for my gym stuff, and like the knowledge that he has is next level. That was what allowed me to open 3 gyms, but I'm trying to introduce systems and everything in behind as well. So I'm learning that from a business coaching program from there. So and
that's straight in my today, man. It's it's funny, man, because like you're always learning something, which is good.
Like last week I went and did a seminar on AI, because I know that's going to be something that's massive. So I did a 2-day course on AI. I put my VA on
with Kerwin. Was that with Kerwin Ray?
No, it was with a business school called Business Blueprint. Dale Beaumont, he's in Sydney. So I jumped into that. I put my VA through it. Next week I've got my VA I've hired another VA. She starts on Monday. So my 3 VAs will go straight into a seminar for 3 days next week.
It's mad, bro. It's very good. All right, man. Well, guys, I'm just going to open it up now to, if anyone has a couple of questions for Kieran, just fire them through. Jesse, bro, I see you sitting there pretty intently. Do you have any questions?